were you even doing near my apartment? What were you doing with this lady? Because that's where I saw you two guys. Like, I have one question for you. That was so immature. That is not what I expected. I expected that you could do better, because what were you doing near there? So guys, today's story cannot wait. If you're new to my channel, my good, awesome and fantastic name is Queen Jambi. They call me the one and only queen in the 254. So also do not forget to subscribe, and also make sure you watch this video till the end, because today's story is gonna be juicy. So let's get right into this video, because why not? So actually, this story I'm about to tell you took place on Tuesday, which was on Valentine's Day, which was 2 days ago. So this was my first Valentine celebrating post high school. I completed my high school in late March of 2022, and yeah, that was it, Lee. Definitely being single on Valentine's Day, I didn't have much planned out. So my day was to be simple and precise and on point. So all I had planned out was to do a TikTok video, of which I did it, and also I had planned out to attend some of my classes, and yeah, just to catch up with my books because I'm still in campus. So that's all I had planned out for that day. But little did I know that in the evening, a good surprise was waiting for me. So let's continue. So actually, my day started off great with my morning routine. The better part of my day, I spent it attending my classes, just giving myself a small nice treat. And in the evening, I had planned to do some bit of shopping for myself. And at the same time, just when I returned to my room, I just enjoyed the rest of the evening, just relaxing, because why not? I'm single. Yeah, you get this. You get. Little did I know that this evening I'm going to see one of my ex. It was not planned. It was accidental. Actually, that's the word. It was accidental, not coincidental. Accidental. And the place that I found him, you wouldn't guess. As in, till this moment, I'm like, surely that's what you could do. So I'm going to tell you more about my ex, because I just can't bring him in the story and lash out on him, because I don't want to lash out at the end of the day. So we're going to give him a name. So the name we're going to give him is Mr. T. So we're going to call this ex of mine Mr. T. So first, how did Mr. T and I meet? So Mr. T and I met last year, 2022. I believe it was in October. So how we met is, it was on a particular day. So on this particular day, I was moving from my classes coming to my apartment. So as I was walking towards my apartment, I was on phone with a particular guy who was telling me about some statistical packages that I was hoping I could take. And so while on call, he asked me whether I had a place to write, because he wanted me to write the M-Pesa number where I was expected to send the money, so that I could be able to start taking my statistical packages. So as you guess, I was walking and I was on phone. So I was like, how could I write? And then I saw a particular guy seated on a seat just next to my apartment. And so I went to him and I asked him, please, can you help me write this number? So that's what I exactly did. And he was helpful. He helped me to write the number on my book. Actually, not on my book, on his, because I just told him, do you have a pen and a piece of paper? And so he's the one who assisted me with the pen and the piece of paper. And so after the call, I said thank you to this guy, because he had been kind. I was like, thank you so much for the help. And so that was how I met Mr. T. So after the call, I introduced myself to him, because it's not courteous that I ask for help and do not introduce myself. So by introducing myself, I mean that I told him my name, and as well told him the course that I am currently undertaking. And likewise, he introduced himself. So like after now the formal introductions, I told him what the call was about, because it was not a family or a very private call. I told him I was on call talking to this guy about statistical packages. that way, and I probably just needed some advice that way. But I never told him that. I don't think I told him that I needed it in form of advice. But I think if I would go back, I wouldn't mention that. I don't know, because a lot that has come about, I think, came about as a result of that. Because after that, he told me that we should probably meet some other time so that he could give me advice about statistical packages, because he has already undertaken some statistical packages and he would offer to help me. So I had no problem with that. So because of that, we exchanged numbers. So why we did not talk in that moment was because he was waiting for someone else, actually another lady. I don't know what was their relationship at the time, because I never minded to ask, because you're just a complete stranger to me and you've offered to help me. So it was like, okay. So we went our different paths until we met next time. So we planned on WhatsApp and met some few days later. And I went because I really wanted to know which statistical package to start with. I was not up to making any mistakes. And we met during the day, like definitely, yeah, because it was like, this is business. So I went, we talked about it. I was very happy the fact that he was aware of what he was telling me, because he had already picked a course, actually not a package, a course, because he told me there are courses such as IBM, they will offer you like all the statistical packages together now, instead of taking the packages as separate. So he advised me to take IBM, and the best thing, or the best part about it, is that it is offered in our campus. So I was very excited. I was like, thank you God, this is an angel from heaven. I've already gotten advice even. And yeah, so I was ecstatic about it. So after that, he told me, uh this is so hard for me. So after that, I said thank you. And for me, I was not in a rush to leave the place we were in, because I just wanted to use the Wi-Fi as I was waiting for my evening class, which I had purposed I was going to attend, because we were supposed to submit a group assignment, but I was not in possession of the group assignment, but I still wanted to attend that class. So he asked me, like, do you have some evening plans? I told him, yeah, I have a class I'm going to. And also he asked me a personal question, like, are you seeing anybody at the time? I was single, so I was like, there's no harm in telling you I'm single. And truthfully, I was not seeing anybody in specific at that time. That is around October. I don't think I was seeing anybody at that time. So I told him, no, I'm not seeing anybody at the time, because I was just recently from a situationship or something of the sort. So I was like, no, I'm not seeing anyone at this time. And you know what he said that really caught me off guard, or rather by surprise? It's like, we can be something else more than business partners, or more than just knowing each other business wise, because it was business that had brought us together. More than just knowing each other business wise, or because of school matters, we can be something else. I was like, no, because no, as in my mind I was like, no. But he like kind of like convinced me that I'm supposed to be open towards the idea, because I don't know what might happen. So he kind of like a bit insisted on that part. I was also likewise interested in knowing, so what about you? Are you with someone? He was like, similarly, no. And for him, it had been quite a while compared to mine. So after that, he told me, what if we go and grab just something small in the market, in the supermarket, or in the shops, just something small. He's the one who will pay, and that will be it. I can just come back and attend my class. So I was like, why not? So we went to the nearby markets around our school. So in this marketplace, I know of a particular place where we can go and grab ice cream. So I took him to the place. He offered to buy the ice creams, and for himself, he just wanted juice and a cake. He was like, okay with it, but for me, he just wanted ice cream. So we stayed there, we chilled for quite some time. We chilled there. It was just chilling, just having a good time because we are like, our energies are kind of vibing. Though he's a low key introvert and I'm an extrovert, but our energies were vibing. So we chilled there for quite some time. I did not even notice the time was quite passing away. The class that I was supposed to have was supposed to be at 5. By the time we were about to leave the place, I think it was around 4:40. 4:40, around 4:40, 4:50. So around that same time, I received a call now from the statistical packages guy. So I picked up the call. He asked me, today's the deadline. Are you still gonna pay? I was like, no, I've cancelled. There's a change of plans. I'm not going to pay. And as you guess, it's because of Mr. T. All that his advice had really worked well. So I cancelled any sorts of payments that I had planned. The statistical packages guy was okay with it, and he just like told me if I ever need to undertake one, he will still be available to help me with it. And so that was just it. So after that, because it was like time had really passed, and yeah, he like asked me, are you still sure you want to go and attend this class? Okay, I feel so bad giving you guys this story. Oh, but this is supposed to serve as a lesson to any lady and also to my future self. Anywho, so let me continue. So he asked me, do you still want to go and attend the class, which was supposed to be on at 5? And then I started debilitating because I was like, a lot of time has passed before I reach school because it is quite a distance. As in, even where the class was to take place, it was quite a distance. And at the same time, another discouraging factor was that the lecturer who taught that unit was in Kiswahili, tunaweza sema ni mtiaji. By mtiaji, I means those lecturers who are provocative. As in, if you reach my class late, I will close that door on you. You won't enter my class. So I was like, this lecture is provocative, and I know I'm going to be late. I'm not going to make it in time. So what is the essence of going? So he told me, so if you make up your mind you do not want to go, we can go to my place and chill until late in the evening, then you can go back to your place. So so Mr. T told me that if I make up my mind and I don't feel like going back to school, because I was like, okay, I'll be late still for the class and the lecturer is provocative in a way. So he told me, if you don't feel like going for that class, we can go chill at my place until late in the evening and then you can come back to school. So I was curious, so what are we going to do at your place? He was like, okay, we can just go watch some movies and then I'll bring you back to school. When the deal is too good, think twice. But I was like, okay, so let's go chill at your place. So we went to his place, which was a bedsitter, and Mr. T already had a movie in mind. So we were just going to watch. Then later in the evening, he will bring me back to school. So we finished watching the movie, I think around 6:50 p.m. So when we finished watching the movie, I was like, I definitely expected it is I take my things and leave. But guess what? This guy, now Mr. T, tried to make a move on me. He was like, oh, I'm into you. He wanted to bring some drama. He wanted to bring some drama, but I thank God I'm principled because my yes is a yes and my no is a no. So I did not allow his move. So I was just like, okay, you know what? We can just cuddle, but nothing more. But as in, that was just it. I did not allow anything more. Like, we cannot cross this boundary because I do not even know you. You're a stranger to me. So that was it. So after, I didn't even stay long. I didn't stay past 8, even past 7:30. I was still not at his place. So as he had promised, he brought me back to my place, or rather back to my apartment, and I was like grateful. I was thankful. If I'm not mistaken, I think he did buy me something to eat for supper. I'm not sure. But yeah, so it was like, it's that way. Thank you. Let me go to my place. So after that, we met other times. We chilled other times, but it was never anything serious because I was not into Mr. T, but he was into me. Like, he liked me, but I did not like him. So yeah, so there was nothing more to be. So let's get into the main story of what happened on evening. So he's the guy that I saw. So this evening, this Tuesday evening, as I was coming from picking some food stuff for supper from a particular hotel in our school, as I was walking back towards my apartment, I hear a certain guy's laugh. So around this time now, this Valentine, when I see Mr. T, we had already kind of parted ways because you were not constantly talking and I was not even visiting his place. There's a reason as to why that happened, but I don't think that is really relevant unless it will be relevant according to this scenario. So I hear a guy's laugh, and in my mind, I clearly recall this is Mr. T's laugh. I'm not mistaken. So this guy, now Mr. T, was with a certain lady and they were like towards the sideways. You see the sideways of the road? This is the road, and of this at the sideways of the road, they were somewhere there. Yeah, now that side of my apartment, not inside the gate, but those sides. So I saw him. He turned, actually, he's the one who turned and saw me first. Like his face met my face first. And all he did was say hi. I don't have a problem with that, by the way. And he was with another lady. In that moment, actually, there is a lot of thoughts that ran into my head. So I'll tell you what first happened. So first, I felt jealous. Not jealous because the lady is more beautiful than me. Not jealous because I've already seen my replacement or something of the sort. But jealous because of the fact that I thought he was serious about me. This guy, you had claimed that you love me. What the fuck were you doing? I know we were not like really talking, constantly talking, but we needed to patch up some things. And I'll tell you guys what it was. So, Mr. T and I had been together for the last 3 months of 2022. That is since the day we met in October, November, and December. That is the last 3 months. So the relationship, actually, it was kind of relationship because we were just like a bit, we were dating, actually, in a way we were dating. So it had been just there. um this guy was ever busy, of which I don't have a problem with that, but I never got to really know him that well or perfectly well, but I did from my side. I made effort to know him when he had time. I made effort even to spend quality time with him according to my own point of view. So we parted ways because of something that I can say he did, of a fault he did. So it was on a particular day. This day I went to visit him because he had asked me to come. So when I went to visit him, he was in a low key mood. Like he was just not in the mood to do anything, to watch a movie, to talk to me. And when I asked him, he said he was grieving. So he told me he just wanted to sleep. So when he said that, I figured out it could be better that I just leave. So on my way back to my place, it rained heavily, and I anticipated that the next day he will probably call to check on me, but he never called from that day. And even weeks later, he actually never did call. And even the next time he called, he said hi, he just texted me hi, but never to ask whether I reached that day safe, whether I was okay. So I got irritated and blocked him because I was like, I don't want an uncaring man in my life. And please do not judge me, but I think if you're in my shoes, you would have understood. So I've shortened that story to tell you guys why we ended things. So we got back to talking of early January of the year 2023, when I unblocked him. And the reason being is that I realized I must have been unfair to block him without explaining why I was blocking him. So that's why I unblocked him, because I wanted to be courteous at the same time and explain my case, and that was it. I never wanted anything more to do with it, of which I did explain myself. And it turns out that from his side, he had not even realized that I had blocked him. So he was like, "What? You blocked me?" He did not realize it, but he was grateful that I did unblock him and that I wanted us to talk, of which we talked on phone and I was okay with that. But some few days later, he told me that he wanted us to, was it, I think it was weeks later, I think it was early this February. He told me he wanted us to talk about a serious matter, and that is the problem I have with him. So this Tuesday evening I see him. So how I see him is I'd gone to buy food from a certain restaurant in our school, in our schools or in our campus. So I was on my way back to my apartment. I hear Mr. T's laugh. I'd not seen his face, but I hear a laugh that is similar to Mr. T's. But this guy is with another lady. So I cocksure within me, I'm sure this is Mr. T. And when he turns, it turns out that it's Mr. T. So he just waves hi and that's it. So I walk my way towards my apartment, but I'm not okay with that. As in, I'm not okay with the fact that he said hi, but I'll explain myself. So I got jealous. I got jealous because this guy had said he wanted us to seriously talk, but it was like me seeing you today. I already know what the topic might have been about, that you're now with someone else. I know it's like I'm jumping into conclusion, but in reality, it was that. That was annoying. It was really annoying. I was angry because I'm like, you said you wanted us to seriously talk. Ever since that day, you did not make an effort to call me again. You did not make an effort to text me or even mention what the subject was about. And so I got jealous, and it disrupted the rest of my evening. So the rest of my evening, actually, I was not at peace. I was not even on moods to go out. It's My plans were just cancelled. Even the plans of sleep, I did not get to have sleep that evening. As in, for the evening, at night I slept, but for the evening I did not even get to sleep. No, I kept ranting about men, and I'm sorry, but it was annoying. But in this moment of ranting, uh, there is something the Lord reminded me. When we were dating, as I've said, I did not allow him to make a move on me. In short, I practiced abstinence with him. And I'm so much grateful because when I remembered that, I smiled and I told myself to many, 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 many more years of practicing abstinence. So if there's anything you can pick from this video today, is that one, trust your gut. I was hurt, by the way, when I saw him with someone else. And even along, I think you have noted there are red flags. Like the time when I came out from his place, it was raining. He never called the next day to check up on me that way. From the beginning, I knew I did not want anything romantic with this guy. But because he liked me, I was like, what if we just try it out? So trust your gut. Your gut is never wrong. The second thing is that I learned, and that this goes to my future self and even to all ladies. I don't know whether you'll agree with me, but for me it's like an unpopular opinion that when you meet with somebody because of business relations, because of school or anything related to just that, it's not friendship wise. Let it remain that way. Don't turn it into a romantic relationship or you'll regret. And the third and the final thing and the best thing is that if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. But the best thing is that practice abstinence in your relationships. You'll never regret it. I feel imenifanya nikuwe so emotional talking about him, but please, Mr. T, because I know you'll, from this story, you'll be able to tell it's you. If you get to watch this, I was hurt. The fact that you promised that you wanted us to talk about a serious matter, you never mentioned what was the serious matter. Like, what the fuck were you even doing near my apartment? What were you doing with this lady? Because that's where I saw you two guys. Like, I have one question for you. That was so immature. That is not what I expected. I expected that you could do better, because what were you doing near there? And mark you, it is in the evening. So you can't tell me that you did not have places to take her. It's on Valentine's. If she was your Valentine's, I'm so much disappointed with the fact that you're not a man of your words. You spoilt my evening. And the unfinished business is that the serious matter you said it was, I really want to get to know it. Or rather, I don't want even to get to know it, but you can do better. That was so low key and annoying of you. And yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you pick up the lessons. Yeah. Make sure you remember to subscribe, drop your comments, and also like the video. Yeah, till next time.